Hi, welcome to Kalaimari's tutorial. Today in this session, we will see about the ambiguities occurring in the inheritance and how to overcome those ambiguities when implementing the inheritance in the programming, as well as we'll see virtual base classes and abstract class in C++. The ambiguity occurs when the function with the same name appear in more than one base class. So here I have got two classes like class A and class B. So the class A is holding the function named display, as well as the class B is also holding the function named display. So you consider this class B to be my derived class, and if I'm creating the object of the derived class I like B, and through that object I'm going to invoke the function called display using dot operator. So it will not be in a position to find which class it has to call for its execution. Either it will be invoking the display of the class A, or it has to invoke the display function of the class B. It is not known to it. So in order to so we'll be using a operator called scope resolution operator here. See here, B is object created for the derived class capital B. So B dot display, so it will be calling only the display function of the derived class B, and B dot a scope resolution operator display. So here scope resolution operator is a double colon. So I'm going to invoke the display function residing in this particular class A. So this how we are going to overcome the ambiguity occurring in the inheritance. So here we will be specifying the class name in which we want to invoke the function. That's all. One of the ambiguity is over and it got solved using scope resolution operator. Ambiguity is there if multi-level path or multi-path inheritance is present in the programs. See here I've got one class grandparent, and taking that base class, two child class were created like a derived class like parent 1 and parent 2. So this parent 1 will be having the copies of all the properties of the grandparent, as well as parent 2 class will be having the properties of the grandparent. And in turn, if these two are going to act as a base class for my child class, so this child class will be holding all the duplicate set of data members present in the base classes like parent 1 and parent 2. So this leads to wastage of memory usage. Again, some more ambiguities in finding the appropriate data. And in order to overcome this, we'll be moving into called virtual base class. So here what is being done is the class which is going to be the common base class is made as virtual. If it is made virtual, what does it mean is the duplication of the members will be avoided in the derived classes. So this is the meaning of defining a base class to be virtual. See here I've got class A, and this is going to act like a common base class, and class B1 here after the colon we are mentioning virtual. So what does it mean? Virtual public A. Here I am making my base class A as virtual. So this we call it to be virtual base class. So here if this keyword is found, then duplication of all the members of the base classes into my child class will be avoided. So my child class C will be holding only the one copy of the data members of the parent class. So again class B2, one more derived class. Here also I am having public virtual A. So we can use this public and virtual. We can interchange the positions. So it is not going to make any other changes. The meaning is going to be the same. So after this again class C, public B1 and public B2. So here class B1 and class B2 are going to act like a base class for the derived class C. So here only one copy of A will be inherited in this child class. So this is the meaning of declaring a function base class as a virtual. We will see one example program in it. So consider student to be my common base class. Here we are going to read a value roll number and I'm going to print it. Again, class test, one of the derived classes here, public student is going to be the base class. So I'm making it as virtual. Reading the marks and I'm going to print it. Again, one more derived class like class sports. Here again, student, the same common class is made as parent like student. And again, here we are also making it as virtual. So in this case, again, we are going to read the score and I'm going to print it. Different functions. Again, class result is going to be the child class. Here both the derived classes like test and sports are going to act like a base class. So here comes to the result, here comes to the derived class. So here in this derived class only one copy of my inherited properties are going to be there. So again, for this particular function, I'll be creating a student class, derived class result. I'll be creating an object named student1. So with this, I'm going to invoke every member function and I'm going to pass a value to it for its execution. And I'm going to get a result. So that's all. So one more ambiguity of duplication of member functions and the data members in the child class is going to get avoided, or it is going to be prevented with the help of virtual base class concept. Next, we will see about the abstract class. Abstract class is a class that is not used to create object. So obviously for the base class, we will not create the object. So here this class is called to be the abstract class. So we'll be creating only the object for the derived class in inheritance, because anyhow the properties of all the base class are going to be inherited in the derived class. So we'll be creating the object only for the derived class and not the base class. And the base class is always called as an abstract class. And let us go for the summary of the session. So in this session, we have seen what are all the ambiguities occurring when implementing the inheritance and how we are solving it. We are solving it with the help of the scope resolution operator and the virtual base class. And we have seen what is an abstract class. Thank you.